everyone. My name is LJ Williams, she, they pronouns. I'm the current board president of Yarn. I'd like to take a moment to ask you if you have anything to spare in this time that we are going through in the United States and the world to donate to Yarn's Faithify campaign. If you'd like to support emergent, evolving, and responsive young adult programming, including chaplains, worship services, GA, swag, for UUs within our community who are young and emerging. There's also a very cool young adult guide. Then please donate what you can and have a great time at this year's GA.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Chapeau, and I am the founder of Yarn and a current board member. Yarn is this incredible project to revolutionize young adult ministry in Unitarian Universalism. We have built a global network of young adults through our Discord server. We now offer guidance and expertise in creating young adult ministry at your local congregation. And we work with various groups throughout the United States on creating and delivering powerful young adult ministry. We believe young adults are the future, and we put our money where our mouth is. So donate today, and thank you on behalf of all young adults, past and present and future.
Hey, I'm HP Rivers, and this is Jackass. My pronouns are they, she, or anything offered with love, and this is my messy kitchen. And I'm going to tidy it up while we talk about why it's really important to support the Young Adult Revival Network's pastoral care program. Here's the thing. Decades of institutional memory tell us that Unitarian Universalism typically loses young adults after bridging. They go off to college, they start taking on adult responsibilities, and they don't have time for church anymore. At least that's kind of the common narrative, right? I worked with Unitarian Universalist kids of all ages, from little babies in the nursery all the way up through youth group, and I've worked with adults and young adults. And I gotta say, our kids can't possibly stop needing us as much as they do in the moments after bridging. I actually think they need us more. The thing is, we need to understand that just like childhood, young adulthood is a really formative and important part of a person's life, and the stressors and pressures of that time in their life are different than older adults or established adults. What we've been doing as we've been striving to provide pastoral care through Yarn is meeting people where they are, in their messy kitchens, in their messy living rooms, on Zoom without cameras if they don't have the spoons for that, on the phone, via text. We are meeting our young adults where they are, which is usually in the trenches, honestly. Some of us, it's the dishes, trenches. Hold on. I'm gonna make cookies on this later. I have to clean this. This is all the dishes I pulled out of my kids' room earlier. Like what? So we are cleaning up our kids' rooms because they're full of dishes, and rediscovering all of our silverware, and we are working multiple part-time jobs, and we are still, as much as we can, volunteering and serving in our communities, and we are just as enthusiastic about and hungry for what Unitarian Universalism has to offer as anyone else. We might just not be available on Sunday mornings, or for meetings during the day because we have to work, or we might really need to talk to someone who gets it, who's our age, our generation, who understands the particular pressures of existing in this day and time. We also have a lot of folks who find Unitarian Universalism online first. They find us through Yarn first, and that's their first connection with Unitarian Universalism. And Yarn will help them get connected with local communities, but sometimes this online community is the one that they want, and that's okay too, and the one that most nourishes them and most meets their needs. That's okay, right? Everybody getting what they need is great. So what I did over this last year was that while I've been in CPE in my ministerial internship, I've been taking appointments via Zoom that's all set up online with Yarn members, with young adults, and with UU religious professionals. And what I've found is that when it's available, when it's free, when it's very clear, and when people can set it up and schedule it without having to directly talk to somebody, they will come. They will reach out. We have to understand what accessibility means for young adults, and accessibility for young adults right now means flexibility, virtual meetings, diversity in programming and offerings that they can choose to participate in or not based on their level of energy and how much of their time they're willing and able to commit. And some of our young adults, y'all, they're going through it. They are so incredible. I've never been more affirmed in my absolute steadfast belief that our youth and young adults are our future, are the future of Unitarian Universalism. We've got some young adults going through it. I spoke with so many folks this past year about being queer in communities that are hostile for queer people. I spoke to a lot of people about living their values in a world that seems to have none sometimes, and about what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist and trying to live up to our values when the world doesn't always share those values. I've also spoken to some religious professionals who reached out to me because I was the first opportunity for pastoral care that they had in their careers thus far. People who have been in this longer than me, certainly, and people who definitely deserved someone to hold and witness them before now. So, why am I making this sappy video? My dog is a menace, or I would have her make some puppy dog eyes to help convince you to give Yarn some money. There it is, the M word, the big ask. Yarn needs money to make this stuff happen. I took dozens of appointments this last year for free because I needed to complete the hours for my clinical pastoral education. That's something I took on and chose to do, but that is not equitable. It is not fair. It is not sustainable. I was paid a small stipend thanks to Yarn's last Faithify campaign, and I really, really appreciate that. It did make a difference in my ability to offer these services and get this care to our community. So I would absolutely love to recommend to seminarians and my colleagues coming through the process now to consider Yarn as a CPE site. But the thing is, I'm not going to suggest that to any of my colleagues if it's not a fairly paid position, because that's not fair to anybody. Our youth and young adults are often in our congregations, in our communities, sometimes the ones who have the least amount of financial privilege and the least amount of financial access and ability to pour into these programs. Our youth and young adults are typically critically underfunded, and those with the financial privilege choose to support these programs. They're paying it forward for the next generation of UUs to pay it forward in the future. Things are different than when we became Unitarian Universalism all those years ago. What was it, 65 years now? That's a long time. A lot of things have changed, and a lot of things have shifted and improved, but something that's the same is that we all believe there's more love out there. So I encourage you to give as generously as you are able to this incredible cause for our young adults, because they are our future and they deserve to be held and loved and supported in this interdependent web of Oh, and welcome to Jackass. Thank you.